Oh my God.
I mean, could this guy take any longer?
I mean, relax. This is 15 minutes past when we normally start.
No, it's not. It's like 30 minutes past when we normally start.
It's
After
30?
you had to-
I mean,
What?
what do he have to do? Oh yeah, he doesn't have a video on.
he doesn't even have
Start
video
calling
on
him,
it.
start calling him Jim.
I mean, Jim's acting like his internet hasn't been messing up for 12 podcasts
So-
straight.
Hey, did my brother turn into 3 dots?
I don't know why it's not.
3 Tommy.
Look, I struggled with the internet, and now, Tommy, the 3-person dynamic is going to shift to you.
Oh, I know what the issue is.
Somehow Mr. Efficient never has an issue.
What do you got? FaceTime? There we go.
Jeez.
No, I downloaded an app that turns my God. It's insufferable. Michael had an entire week off last week, and he's like, man, get some free time.
Yeah, you act like I wasn't. You think I just like, first of all, on my weeks off, I probably work twice as hard as you on your weeks on.
Oh, okay. Here we go. Twice as hard.
I do.
You played golf 4 times last week.
Hey, you know what?
I'm not working.
I bet
Okay.
Michael spent more time in the sand than David Hasselhoff.
Oh man, never heard that one.
All right, guys, welcome in to the Cellini Rounds podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Jim Cellini. I'm a board-certified practicing veterinary neurologist. And on today's episode, we're going to have a sponsor and shout out to my new consultation service called Veterinary Neurology Consulting.
Hey,
Just launched this company, and by company, I mean a website and me, as a consulting business that is aimed at other veterinarians. My slogan is, I want to help vets help pets. And what I mean by that is there's a lot of veterinarians out there in the world who have no access to a neurologist whatsoever. And so they're left treating pretty complicated neurologic diseases on their own without having the experience or the comfort overall. And that's just a lot to ask of a, GP or an ER doctor. So I thought I would create a service for that. If you don't have access to a neurologist, you can go on here. You can book either a real-time consult with me, a case review. Yeah, a freaking Zoom call, baby.
you don't think he's worth it?
Jim? No. Maybe a real neurologist.
Yeah. And then you can go on here with me, and then you can book a time. Say, I want to have Dr. Cellini review this. Then you click next, and then you can just submit all this information that I need about what's wrong with this pet, and I'll get back to you within 24 hours. So you see the pricing there. Just launched it. Tell all your friends. If your vet does not have access to a neurologist, that might be something
Which
that
most
they
don't.
might be interested in, which most don't.
So
that's who we're brought to by today. Me.
by you also.
Yes.
Man,
More Jim.
Yes, that's right.
So what exactly? What's a good consult that you would receive that you're like, I can do this over the phone via Zoom, and it's like not an issue because obviously you have a lot of physical exam
anything.
in your.
Yeah, it could be like dogs having status epilepticus, vertigo, they're paralyzed, or they're doing some weird thing. They don't like twitching behavior. It might be, I'm envisioning like a new doctor who's on like an overnight, like emergency situation and just unsure what's going on and just needs help. So there you go. That's what the plan is. And I'd like to expand this. Yeah, it's an online pager number. And so I'd like to expand this to like all specialists one day. Like I would love to add on like an internist and a cardiologist and turn this into like veterinary specialist consulting. So there you have it. So yeah, I'm Dr. Jim Cellini. I'm a board certified veterinary neurologist. I'm joined by my younger brother. He is the doctor who golfs, but he just can't quite putt. He puts the MD, and I'm not an MD, I'm a DO.
That wasn't it. What is that one?
Yeah.
And he puts the DO.
Okay, go ahead.
And he puts the DO, and can anyone please do this person's gluteal fold cleaning?
So stupid.
Man,
These are some stretches. These are some stretches today. Must be out of content.
Ill prepared.
Welcome to the show, Dr. Cellini.
Thanks for having me. Pleasure to be here.
And then we
Tim?
are joined by Tommy. His radiation decay is beta, not alpha. His blood suffers from beta thalassemia.
Yee.
God.
Hold on. There's more.
Where's the hook?
Oh, good.
His his
the
hey, his
shepherd's crook coming in to hook him out.
his chorionic gonadotropin is beta. And if we were in the wild, he'd have been eaten by his father.
Okay.
He puts the DO and can someone please do this for me?
We're still doing this?
That's
Okay.
true.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dr. Thomas Cellini, welcome.
No, thanks. Thanks for having me. God.
Man, Jim needs to work on the intro
Yeah.
there. Man.
Well, they would have flowed a lot better if you don't interrupt me every time. Well, look, guys, welcome into the program. What have we been up to over the last week?
Tommy, you go
Michael,
first.
you go. Okay, Tommy, go first.
Tommy's more eventful than mine.
Yeah, I officially got engaged this weekend. I proposed my longtime girlfriend Caitlin.
Wow.
I know.
Finally.
Wow. Yeah, finally, which is I guess the common response for that. Yeah,
That's
we
true.
got engaged on Saturday morning.
It's about time.
It's about damn time.
How many people told you that?
Literally everyone. That's
Yeah.
what if you're in your 30s and you're dating longer than like a year, people are like, that clock is ticking. You're like, is it? Is it though? It's like, but
It's about damn time. I'm surprised she didn't leave you yet.
yeah, okay, yeah. It's like,
Standard response.
like you couldn't possibly be together unless you're married after like a succinct 12 months
Yeah.
of knowing each other. God forbid you get to know someone longer than 12 months and
I know.
propose them after that. But yeah, so we got engaged. This is the official engagement. I think we told you guys like a week before the like official one.
Correct.
But it basically was we like picked out a ring. Caitlin basically picked out a ring. We got the ring and we went to go pick it up on like Easter weekend. And Caitlin like fell in love with it. And she's like, I don't want to take it off after we picked it up. So she just kept it on for the next week or so. And she like basically would wear it out. And then of course every single person would be like, are you engaged? And she's like, yes, technically. Like
Just trying it out.
yeah, just taking for a spin. And so on the Easter, we actually like went to her family's house. It was like a Saturday. We celebrate stuff on Saturday. Went to her family's house. Her parents were there, and I asked her dad for her hand in marriage. Very official.
Oh, you did that?
Yeah, I did that. Asked Don.
Yeah, I did that too.
Yeah. So I asked him,
Same.
and he was very excited. And her mom was there too. And so she was slowly like leaking it to everyone and like she would wear the ring to work. And people would be like, are you engaged? Like,
Wow.
not yet. I was like, we had different plans for like the actual engagement. She's like, I can't help myself. And so we were waiting actually for like a pretty day. So we always walk to the lake from our place. And we've been waiting for like a pretty morning basically to go catch the sunrise and basically do it on the lake. She kind of has known about it for a while. And it literally was like there was one sunny day in the past like 48 days in Chicago. And so it's literally been like cold and rainy for 2 months straight. And finally the Saturday was nice. I was like, we're waking up, we're going to see the sunrise on the lake, which is like 5:30 in the morning. And so we walked to the lake, I proposed her, and we actually took pictures on our tripod there. And they turned out to look like professional photos. iPhones are kind of amazing that way.
Yeah, iPhones are quality.
Yeah. I was like, good Lord. I was like, they actually look pretty good. The only problem was it wasn't super warm and it was so windy by the lake that like you're just getting blasted by wind nonstop and you're getting wind burn and stuff and your nose is turning red. So it
Probably
didn't look
because-
great, but whatever.
Probably because Chicago has the worst weather ever.
It's brutal. Well, finally like Sunday on and now it's like perfect weather. It's like high 60s or like low 70s and like no humidity. Well, it was humid, but it's been like gorgeous lately. It was
Would
just
you
like
say-
our spring is terrible.
Yeah, would you say it's warm 1.5 months the entire year?
No, it's so you'll basically yeah,
Three,
there's
really?
like a good like hot for the so basically
Not warm
it
for you,
gets-
Jim.
It gets hot as shit in August.
oh there we go. Yep. So that's us. That's Caitlin and I proposed around the lake.
Because everyone is like, I hate. First of all, let me go on a rant real quick.
Let's do
I
it.
hate the marketing behind the whole diamond industry.
Yeah.
From whenever they started that in like the 40s, where they said, the diamond is a way. This is how old school it is.
Diamonds are forever.
So it goes back. I did some research before I got engaged. So the tradition behind the diamond is it goes back to way back when, probably like 30s or 40s, whatever De Beers was. Huge marketing campaign, because if you could afford a diamond, that's how you prove to your future wife's dad that you can save up enough money and you're a good person for her. Like you have the ability to save up money, and that shows the dad that you know how to do finances. But
what year? Like what era was that?
I don't know. Whenever the De Beers was, probably 1950s or so.
I was gonna say that sounds like post World War II marketing right there.
It's the best marketing campaign of all time. Number one.
Yeah.
And the diamonds are marked up so unbelievably high, it's ridiculous. And then two, now all of a sudden every person who gets engaged cares about how big the diamond is, what the diamond looks like, everything about the diamond. It's like it's basically essentially ruined the whole idea behind marriage.
Yeah, it's become like a competition to like how much can you spend on a diamond and how nice of a diamond can you get, which is it's gonna like not everyone can buy an expensive like a 50 grand diamond. Like if you think about how expensive they are, it's like comical what you have to pay to get like a 2-carat. It's like wait, what? You're like that's like a down payment on a house.
Okay, so tell me about dad. Sorry.
So dad called me. Yeah, we're back. Yeah. So dad texted me earlier today, was like, hey, can we FaceTime with B or whatever on her birthday? And I was driving, so I just went home and got her, and I tried to do it because you have to FaceTime him on Instagram. You use the Instagram camera, right?
God,
obviously.
Is it bad?
So,
I've never used Instagram.
Well,
FaceTime.
first of all, he sits like this. Hold on,
Yeah.
let me see if I can. He sits like this. So he's just like this in the dark.
Oh my gosh.
So B just like sees his eyes and has to be convinced that it's grandpa.
She's scared out of her mind.
She's
B,
like
B, he didn't answer. So I'm like, okay, all right, we didn't. So he just called me for the last like 5 minutes. He must have called me 4 times back on the Instagram camera, as if it's now 8 o'clock. And
as if Beatrice is awake, just
as if she's awake, and as if I'm gonna just like open up the Instagram camera to tell him, like that's how I'm gonna tell him that he missed the call.
Yeah,
is the Instagram camera.
God, I mean, why can't anybody over the age of like 60 use an iPhone? Is it just too hard for them to?
Oh, it's way too complicated. Even though the interface is so incredibly easy, it's like everything is like click on this button to do the specific thing you want, and it's like, oh, okay. There's like,
what do you think? I mean, there's going to be something that comes out, and we're going to look so stupid using it when we're older. I mean, some piece of technology that all the kids are going to be able to use, and we're going to be like, what is this thing?
Yeah, I'm like,
God, I can't imagine that. I literally can't imagine that.
No. Well, I don't know if it's like we've had a foundation to build off of, and there's no foundation, and so you have to take the initial leap to like understand the basics of everything. And if you don't take that initial leap, then you're just toast in the water.
Yeah.
And it's like,
I think
I'm too far behind.
Our starting point is so far ahead of their starting point that, I mean, they were done typewriters.
Our starting point is internet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's true. At least we had internet. They had,
and now
we had
Web
internet
3.
growing up. Yeah, I don't even know what that is, but I keep hearing about it from experts.
See, Jim's gonna go down first. Guarantee it.
I mean, okay. I
He's
got
going down
somewhere. All right. So Tommy got engaged over the weekend or over the last week. So that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations to Tommy and Caitlin. I feel so bad for you. Your thoughts or my thoughts are with you during this difficult time.
I will say, as a side note, Jim zoomed in on the ring. We had another close friend get married or get engaged over the weekend. He's an attending, and so obviously he can afford a slightly better ring than I. And we went to go see the ring. And this is right after Caitlin got hers, and she was like, "Oh my!" It was like way bigger than ours. She goes,
"Really?
Oh my god!" She was like, "I didn't even think those things would get that big." I was like, "Don't put yours back on, please."
Well, didn't you know that? I mean, the size of the diamond is how much you express your love. So I mean, if you don't have a big 8-carat diamond, that you don't even love your wife.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely, I've proven
the sanctity of marriage has come down to the size of a diamond.
It is funny.
The exact opposite of what it should be.
I will say it's nice that I did it in residency because it's like I got an easy out to be like, I can't spend that much. What am I gonna do?
You can't. Well, most people can. It's ridiculous.
My hands are tied.
It's ridiculous.
So that was my fun exciting weekend. Jim,
I didn't tell you what I did. What did I do? Well, I was on vacation, as you all know. It was probably the worst week to be on vacation. It was a staycation, and it rained probably 5 out of the 7 days I was off. So like horrible, terrible rain. It was sunny for an afternoon. I played golf. It was rainy. I went to top golf. Then it was sunny. Well, yesterday, that was after my week off. But yeah, I could have played golf every day, but instead I was basically forced to stay inside because it was the worst weather ever. And then I drove 2 hours to Philadelphia to see Jim and B for her second birthday, which we celebrated there.
Right.
Yay.
And so that was cool, minus the fact that it was pouring down rain the whole time.
Did it rain in Philly?
It was nonstop raining the whole
On
weekend.
Saturday it did. Yeah, it was literally nonstop.
I was wondering why there was only pictures from inside the house.
I know.
Yeah.
It was like,
That makes more sense now.
Yeah, my
No.
so this is my wife and B's second birthday.
Look at that little cutie. I love that picture, by the way.
Her birthday is today, actually.
Look at that little
but,
stinker. Her little chubby
yeah.
cheeks.
it's May
Old
11th.
Beatrice. There you go.
Oh.
May
So
11th.
Beatrice, I looked this up. So Beatrice, her birthday is a few other national days. One of which is Fentanyl Addiction Awareness Day,
Ooh.
which is
Fun.
not the greatest thing I'd like my child to be associated with, but yeah. So today is
Nonetheless.
let me pull this up. Today is National Fentanyl Awareness Day. And this is obviously like one of the worst drugs you could possibly put in your body.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Correct.
So can you guys explain what fentanyl is and why it's so damn terrible to get addicted to?
Yeah. I mean, so fentanyl is an opioid. It's, allegedly like 50, some reports say 100 times more potent than, say, morphine. It's highly addictive. It's the purest form of the actual opioid. So like a lot of the painkillers given in the hospital will give like Percocet, which is oxycodone plus acetaminophen, or you can also give like straight up oxycodone or straight up fentanyl, which is without the anti-inflammatory. So fentanyl is just pure opioid, pure painkiller, and it's highly addictive. And for some reason, people try this drug and they become immediately addicted. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what it is. I mean, anything related to the whole opioid family is addictive, but fentanyl, for some reason, I don't know if it's just more available on the street or whatnot, but
Yeah.
man, it is bad,
So-
bad.
The CDC just released data updating how many people in the US died from drug overdoses in the last year. How
It's
many?
the most, right? All right. It
It's
was like
the-
the
it's the
highest
most
year
ever.
ever. Yeah.
Yeah. How many do you think?
Oh man. Is it more or less than COVID?
Has to be less.
I would say more.
It's in the not total, but like in the last year.
Oh, in the
COVID
last
was 1
year.
million now.
Yeah, COVID's over 1 million total ever since the pandemic started. Oh God.
Let's
I
say like
mean-
300,000.
It's 107,000 people.
Okay.
Jesus.
Jeez.
Yeah. And apparently
'Cause-
fentanyl is responsible for 2/3 of that. I think it's short acting. I think that's why
Yeah,
it's
it's short
part of
acting.
why it's part of
Yeah.
why it's so addictive is because people constantly need re-ups of it.
Yeah. It's just I think it's just the dose because it's like micrograms that you dose it in
Mhm.
versus milligrams for other things, which is 1,000 times or 100 times less.
Yeah,
But
we
it's-
give
yeah, right.
we give fentanyl for almost every single one of my procedures, but obviously it's monitored. You have to give sedation for our procedures, or you won't be able to do them. But the problem is, this is why I always say, anytime I have someone, say younger than 50, especially if they're 20s, 30s, I like refuse to give them any sort of narcotics because I just don't want anybody to even experience what it's like.
Begin
know?
the journey. Yeah.
Like obviously you have painful surgeries, you're going to have to need some narcotics, but for what I do, most of the time you can get away with, even for the bigger procedures, I refuse to give like 20, 30-year-olds narcotics. I just don't want them to
Yeah.
have any.
You don't need them.
Yeah.
most
Yeah.
of the time. Like you're not in like it takes like an unbelievable amount of pain to justify using that.
I think that's like
Um,
the thing is other like in Europe and stuff like that. There's less opiate, like there's less opiate addictions and opiate like related deaths. And I think the issue is it's like there's like a presentation by like the expectation of pain for like a procedure or like being sick or something like that.
yeah,
Where
yeah,
it's
we
if,
struggle with this too with dogs.
where it's like if your expectation of the pain, it's like you're going to be in pain. That's an accepted like process in this. That it's like you'll require less opiates or less painkillers to deal with that pain. If you're like going into it, you're like, I should expect a minimum. Like having some pain is not a horrific thing. It's like you're
I
supposed
know.
to have some pain if you have horrible pancreatitis. Now you can't have like horrible cancer pain that is like intractable and prevents you from
Right.
functioning.
Right.
And that's where like the opiates come in. But I think I mean, we are heavy handed as like a society, especially in America when we give opiates.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was to say I think people are accustomed, to going into the hospital or for any sort of procedure, and I want to feel no pain whatsoever
Yeah.
before, after. I don't want to even know what happened, which I get it, but as a society, we've just been so accustomed to that, and that's why, like I always tell my patients, like I'm okay with you being a little uncomfortable, but I don't want you to be like in excruciating pain. Like I am sticking essentially a straw through your abdomen. Like it's not pleasant, but it's okay to feel a little pain,
Yeah.
but
It's
I
like
go
you
heavy handed on the lidocaine.
Yeah. And it's like
I
you
think
use
the other things
lidocaine.
and there are we have a lot of good options in our arsenal to mitigate pain that aren't narcotics. I think it's easy to go straight to like fentanyl or Dilaudid or whatnot, but we have some very good options to mitigate pain that aren't narcotics.
Yeah, I use fentanyl basically all the time with like all of my post-op dogs when I do neck and back surgeries on them. Most dogs tolerate it fine, but like 1 out of 10, they'll come in the next day and they'll just be like this,
Yeah.
like that, like literally just like a cartoon, like all saggy and just like minimally responsive. And you're like, oh my God. And then you stop the fentanyl and they're fine after they get out of their system.
You guys
in, like,
do a
15
drip
minutes.
or what do you
Yeah.
you
We
do?
do a drip at 3 mics per kid per hour typically is the dose. But see, the problem we run into is that there's an expectation, like you were saying, that like unless a dog is completely 100% pain free after a procedure, then they need more pain meds.
Mhm.
And we go down this like snowball of just giving a dog every drug known to mankind for everything between pain and anxiety. And I'm always just like, look, just give it a day, and
Yeah.
these dogs will be okay. Like, and I'm of the opinion that we can't really. It's easy to mix up what is anxiety and what is pain in a
Yeah.
dog. Like because
Right.
dogs will just freak out and they look like this, and they're like grin panting the entire
Yeah.
time. And then I'm told, oh, we need to bump his fentanyl up. And I come in the next morning and he's like triple the fentanyl dose. And he's sitting there doing the same thing again. I'm like, no, we don't actually turn it off.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah. The other thing with that is not to beat a dead horse here, but unfortunately in our society as well is you are scored, quote unquote, on how well you do from the procedure, so if a
Mhm.
patient
That's
has
crazy.
a patient has no pain, they feel like you were better at the procedure than if
Yeah.
they have pain. So it's just a psychological thing but was he a good doctor because he overprescribed or he or she overprescribed the narcotics, or did they just know you during the procedure? Which, I don't know. So
Like I don't
that's
remember
just-
anything. Yeah.
5 stars because I didn't feel anything, or 5 stars because it was a successful operation or whatnot, so
Right.
I don't know. It's the same thing where surgeons, the closure is all the patients see. So
Yeah.
if the surgeon closes and takes their time on the small
Oh, yeah.
incisions that they make, then the patients perceive it as an excellent surgery. But if it was a sloppy closure job, they would perceive it as like it didn't go well, which it could have gone well. It's just they didn't heal well,
Right.
Dude, I had a surgeon when I was in med school. I was on my surgery rotation, who used to light me up if I didn't do like the sutures correctly. And all he cared about was what the skin looked like afterwards. And he took so much
Correct.
pride in being like, no one gets a scar on my watch and all this stuff. And you would do
Yeah.
just a slightly different like suture or any tie, and he'd be like, what? He would just scream at you. He'd be like, what the hell is that? I'd be like, dude, it's not that bad. Like, worst case scenario, you just like cut it and redo it. But like, what are we talking
Yeah,
about?
but not that bad is not good enough.
Yeah, they're
It
like,
needs to be
they expect
perfect.
perfection. I was like,
Yeah.
well, this is not my field. I won't I won't be doing this.
It's like that study in colonoscopies that showed if the person doing the scope just sits there for the last 5 minutes of the study and does nothing, then the patient will perceive the whole colonoscopy as a much better experience compared to if they didn't do that, even though everything else is equal.
Right.
I didn't
So
know that. That's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll have to pull that up one
They
day.
so they
I
just
wanted
sit there, scope out and everything. And they're like, ah,
the scope's in the descending colon, I somewhere in there.
yeah,
And they just sit there with the scope and don't move. Just moving is what like makes it uncomfortable.
Yeah,
really.
right.
But they sit there with it and they do not move and they stay there for like 5 minutes, I think it was. And if you do that and then you take it out, then the patient perceives it as like not that bad.
God, isn't
But
that
if-
hilarious?
But if they didn't do that and they just stopped as soon as they were done, pulled it
Yeah.
out, then they were like, what most people think is a god awful procedure, a colonoscopy.
yeah, but you're snowed during a colonoscopy. Deep
You're what?
sedation. You're
No,
snowed.
deep sedation.
Yeah.
What does snowed mean?
Like you're
Buried
you're
in cocaine?
No.
You're
So,
Tony
snowed
Montana.
is like that's what the business term for like really sedated. But
Yeah.
you
Oh,
get
okay.
you get deep sedation for propofol or with
Okay.
propofol for colonoscopy.
So I wanted to look up some other things that my daughter shares a day with. And let's see. Today is National Eat What You Want Day.
Oh, that's a
I
good one.
support
Yeah.
that day. What a good
I
one.
support that day.
Where are
Um,
these where do these days come from? Who makes this stuff up?
Probably the same people that made up Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
That's true.
Uh,
True. Hallmark?
Tommy, what did you eat today?
What did I eat today? I had there's on one of our employee cafeterias. About a year ago, it got taken over by these Latino guys, and they basically have had free range to create like their own meals every time.
Jeez.
So we
Sounds
had this-
amazing.
Oh, dude, it's the best.
That's my
Everyone-
dream.
It used to be
No, it's not.
garbage. It was
Don't
like
talk
the-
about food, Michael.
it was the
It
worst
is.
food ever for like 2 years. And then all of a sudden one day I was like, dude, who made these rice and beans? These are like amazing rice and beans with like
Oh.
flautas and burritos and stuff. Now every
Okay.
day it's some like Mexican themed food, and it's like so good, and no one knows about it. Like there's a handful of people that do, but most people don't. But I had carnitas tacos with like rice and beans, and they like homemade salsa every day too. They'll have like a molcajete, and I'll be like,
What?
I'm like, is anyone else noticing that we have like this
Yeah.
unreal salsa and like this like small employee cafeteria? It's like unreal. It's the best.
You-
I love it.
You
I go
made your
through
own. You made your own salsa, didn't you, Jim?
Yeah, I've been making my own salsas left, right, and center. lately.
God, I love homemade salsa.
Dude, it's
Michael, what did you eat today?
For lunch I had a salad, and for dinner last night we made essentially tacos, but we do lettuce wraps with the tacos.
Like PF Chang's?
No, it's not as. When was the last time I had that? That was that was back in 2002 or something.
I had PF Chang's in Albuquerque when I used to live there. I used to go to PF Chang's. That was
Really?
my that was like, all right, we're gonna dress up, look decent, go to PF Chang's.
I
That's like
haven't
Cheesecake
been there
Factory,
in
bro.
20 years.
Oh, I haven't been in so long.
All right. So the other days that are today is National Receptionist Day.
Oh.
So I'd like to shout out all the receptionists who bear the absolute brunt of the
My hat is
pet
off.
pet owners worldwide, and who take the phone call and are the front facing body crash
Yeah.
test dummy, dare I say, in veterinary medicine.
Yeah.
So hats off to you all on National Reception Day.
Yeah.
Let's see what other days there are. There's World Ego Awareness Day. That one's for Michael. And
So stupid.
and then National School Nurse
Hey,
Day.
there we go.
Hey, I thought it was I thought it was Nurses Week, or is it?
Is,
Yeah.
is this week
National-
National
yeah.
Nurses Week?
Yeah, this is National Nurses. You haven't seen
What?
stuff in your hospital?
No, I mean not in the
There you go.
radiology department.
National Nurses Week.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
My
So
hospital needs to step it up. What are we doing?
it
Shout
would
out to all
make
the
sense
nurses
that
out there.
it would, yeah, shout out to the nurses. It would make
It's
sense that
also donate a day's wages to charity day. So, Michael, I hope you put in about $10,000 today. Did
yeah,
you
I wish
donate?
I wish I was making 10,000 a
God.
day.
All right.
That'd be a dream.
So those are all the days that my daughter shares with her birthday.
It's
There you go.
also it's my half birthday.
Yeah, it's your
That's
half
true.
birthday.
Yeah.
You're November.
You know,
November 11th.
Beatrice. Yeah, we got the half birthday thing going
On that same line, have you seen the book that you can get with the front pages of the New York Times for every day of your birthday over your life?
No.
No, that sounds really cool though.
Yeah, it's really cool.
All right. So in other news, celebrity chef Mario Batali was on trial for a sexual assault charge.
Wait,
of which
was he
he's had-
really?
I saw
Of
that.
which he's had multiple, but he was acquitted today.
Oh, he looks terrible.
Yes.
Yeah, doesn't he look old? I said
oh.
the same thing. He looks so much older than I
God
remember.
Mighty. He looks
It's like he
awful.
aged 20 years
I
Yeah.
will say he lost a bunch of weight.
by
But,
stress.
Yeah, Mario Batali is found not guilty, and this reminded me of something that happened back in 2017.
Yeah.
He was initially accused of this. So I'm just going to read his statement. Okay, Michael, I don't think you're aware of this.
I don't know this. No.
Okay, this is
God.
the statement he released after being accused of sexual misconduct in
2017.
2017.
Okay.
As many of you know, this week there has been some news coverage about some of my past behavior. I have made many mistakes, and I am so very sorry that I disappointed my friends, my family, my fans, and my team. My behavior was wrong. Sharing the joys of Italian food, tradition, and hospitality with all of you each week is an honor and a privilege. Without the support of all of you, my fans, I would never have a forum in which to expound on this. I will work every day to regain your trust and respect. P.S. In case you're searching for a holiday-inspired breakfast, these pizza dough cinnamon rolls are a fan favorite. So
no, he didn't. No, he didn't.
So
No, he
there you go.
didn't. No, he didn't add that on the end. That's a
So,
joke.
That's
you don't remember, you never saw this?
No. He
I
added that on
mean-
the end of his apology?
Dude, he
Or
threw
whatever
in
that-
a cinnamon roll recipe on the end of his apology for sexual misconduct. I mean, dude, how much can you miss the mark of something?
Oh,
what was
my
his PR
God.
team doing there?
I don't think he had one back then.
Oh
Yeah.
my.
Look at this comment right here back in the day. Sexual harassment with icing on top.
That's so true though.
God.
He completely missed the mark for that. I never
mean,
saw that.
Isn't that one of the worst things you've ever seen? I've never seen someone so unaware of a situation.
Wow.
It's like
I
the
know.
epitome of
Like-
being unaware of the situation.
That's
dude,
bad.
Dude, read the room.
Man.
Cinnamon rolls. It's not even like, dude, cinnamon rolls.
Cinnamon rolls? That's even worse. Than
It's like,
cinnamon
where
rolls.
did that come from?
Yeah.
I think he was actually trolling his accusers in this whole process that he
You
had
think
to
so?
apologize. I think so.
Yeah.
Really?
I think something like his publisher or his PR person or somebody high up in Food Network was like, dude, you have to apologize. But then they didn't follow up with it. And he was like, F this. I'm going to put a little joke in here at the end. I think he did.
Dude,
That-
I
that's my-
remember he was in the he was like in the news going to court for one of the first times, like back in 2017. And he has like a Multo Mario thing that he does on his TV show, which by the way, it seems like he's an awful guy by all accounts. His show was great. In terms of learning
Multi
Ita-
Mario?
Dude, it's so good to
Oh,
learn
yeah.
Italian food from. It's one of the best
Oh, yeah.
Italian food shows. Don't watch it because he's a terrible person. But that being said, but he did this thing where he goes Multo Mario. And he like puts his like three
Like
fingers down.
MM.
Yeah, like Eminem or whatever. I remember he was getting interviewed by the camera or whatever, and he's like smiling as he's walking by, and he goes, "Multi Mario." It was like points at the camera. I was like, "Oh my god, dude!" I was like, this
Man,
guy threw-
he misses the mark a lot, huh?
yeah, I was like, he's unaware of what's going on.
Yeesh. He looked so much younger there. That was in 2016. He looked like he aged 40 years.
Yeah, good lord.
No, this was uploaded 2016.
Oh.
This show came out in the 90s, late.
Yeah,
90s,
yeah.
Oh, did it?
or
Okay.
somewhere around there.
You
Yeah,
know-
he would make like shrimp scampi for Michael Stipe and all these like kind of random actors and celebrities and stuff. That
He's
would
a damn
stand
good
up.
chef, by the way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean he's a crazy
Multi
good chef.
Mario.
You know, fun fact, he actually he complimented our father's meatballs on the show The Chew.
Oh, that's true. Forgot about that.
Yeah. So long story short, our uncle is the manager for a comedian named Billy Dardell. Billy Dardell opened a restaurant. My dad and uncle helped with him. My dad's meatball recipe was featured as part of the menu item when Billy Dardell was showing it off on The Chew. Mario Batali said that they were quite good and complimented them. So
You still find the recipe out there. Jimmy's Meatballs.
Jimmy's Meatballs, you can find them out there. And so, and you know, no higher praise than apparently Mario Batali liking it.
Yeah. Not these days.
Yeah. That
all right. So the other story I wanted to get to today was this is pretty interesting. I think it shows some serious celebrity disconnect, keeping on our
celebrity
theme from last
disconnects
week.
here.
So James Cromwell, who you may recognize from the Babe movies, like Babe, the little pig that could talk and stuff.
No idea.
And he says that'll do. He says that'll do, pig. That'll do. You know.
Yeah.
Babe.
Is he the pig?
I know.
No, he's the farmer.
Oh.
Let me look up
I knew
Babe.
Michael's gonna be like, "Oh, what?"
Yeah, I don't pay. Not really a movie buff, as we all know by now.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Michael. This won't be Blood Diamond clips, but let's see.
Slightly more family friendly.
Yeah. Hold on. There.
Although, wasn't Babe under some scrutiny?
I
Was
don't
it?
know.
Yeah, I
How
think
could
so.
Baby under scrutiny?
I
Do you remember? Do you remember watching this? Like every time your teacher wasn't in school and you had a substitute, they just made you watch this movie on like a TV
Yeah.
stand.
That was a
Yeah.
little freaking sheep.
And there's Babe, the pig.
Dude,
First
I
of all, for
love
those
sheep.
watching this, farm animals never look this clean.
Missing
Yeah,
some
I mean-
poop on their fur.
Yeah. There you
He
go.
doesn't look very happy there.
No, and he doesn't look very happy in this news article either. So, let's see. Let's pull up the article. James Cromwell glues himself to New York City Starbucks counter in protest of milk. You know, my daughter often protests milk, but this is protesting milk in a different way.
Glues himself.
Protest
Yeah.
milk.
So there's footage of this.
He's
Apparently,
82.
He's 82.
I mean,
Yeah.
he looks 20 years younger than Mario Batali.
I don't know about that.
He'll strip for his age.
So he glues
Oh, he's a
himself.
PETA guy.
Can you
What do mean
guys hear this?
glues? No.
Oh,
Okay.
that's what the gluing thing was.
So he glued his hand to the counter of a
What?
Starbucks, protesting the fact that vegan milk, like almond milk and stuff, costs more than regular milk. So they're like upcharging customers for it. So he slaps on his PETA shirt and goes over and protests
Wait.
the cost of vegan milk.
I like the people in the
Wait,
background just
wait.
continue.
I'm confused. I'm really confused by this. So
Okay.
he at PETA, they want cow's milk.
No, they're saying that
No.
vegan milk should not cost more than cow milk.
Okay,
Because it's-
should
it's
not, and
unfair.
it does. I mean, what are you gonna do? He's saying they
Well, I
marked it
don't
up.
know. Yeah, he's protesting the fact that Starbucks is marking up vegan milk because that's wrong, and they should make vegan products like more accessible to people. I think is his point.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
so he
saw.
glues himself.
I know.
So he glued himself to the counter. Now, to start with, you know, let me just pull up this image again. I feel like I could easily rip his hand off.
You probably put like one little dollop of glue on it.
Yeah,
He's like, I'm glued.
I'm
feel
staying
like
here
I could-
forever.
You could get leverage behind his wrist and be like, "Get off there, James
No, you just
Cromwell.
push,
What are you
push
doing?"
him, and his whole body, like 200 pounds, would pull his arm up.
Yeah,
he should.
like,
he
it's
just
not
stood
gonna-
up after that one was fine. He was like,
What if
"Whatever."
what if the whole counter came off and he was like holding the whole counter like this?
You know,
Wait,
like, Jim, you had in Spider-Man when he like first gets his powers,
Oh,
he's
here
like
we go.
sticking.
He
It,
starts
yeah,
grabbing stuff.
he grabs stuff and he's like, and everything's stuck
Yeah.
to his hand. He's like,
Yeah,
"How
I
to get this
know.
off?" Yeah,
Totally understand.
Yeah.
that's exactly what I
But
pictured.
you know what my favorite part about the whole that clip is, Jim? Pull
What?
it up because because if I was a Starbucks employee, I would feel the
Oh.
exact same way. But then I'm just hold on. They were chilling in the back, leaning on the counter, and just like, all right, well, I guess I just get paid. Don't have to make any lattes
Yeah.
today. That would be me.
Yeah.
I'd be like, all right, whatever.
Yeah,
Say what you want to say, bro.
Stay
I
here
don't
all
care.
day, man. I don't
Yeah,
care.
I was like, shoot, I leave in 6 hours. Sit,
Yeah.
you're fine.
The girl in the back's like, I'll start cleaning up already.
Making
Right.
themselves a latte. Watch the show.
They zoom in on it. They zoom in on his hand.
So this has been going on in the NBA. I think the Minnesota Timberwolves owner owns like a big farming company or something like that. And there's been there were protesters at the game where PETA protesters run onto the court and super glue themselves to the court, like their hand like
No
that.
way.
So I have a question though. After he did that, did Starbucks immediately slash prices?
Yes.
I mean, of course not.
There you go.
It said,
okay.
This guy glued himself. We're slashing the prices. I wonder what though. I wonder how much it costs to make what kind of milk is it?
Like almond and stuff like
Almond milk.
Almond milk.
Oh,
Yeah. I wonder
Almond
what
soy.
the cost is compared to. That's a weird protest.
Well, here's the thing that's also funny is that almond milk is in many ways much worse for the environment to produce it compared
it?
to like dairy milk. Yes, you have to use so much water, as it turns out, to make almond milk and to grow the almonds. I mean, first of all, have you ever made? I know you haven't, but Tommy, have you made almond milk from scratch?
Yeah.
Before?
Yeah.
How many almonds do you have to use to get freaking almond milk?
It's otherworldly. You have to bring a truckload to get like a pint of almond.
Yeah.
milk. It's comical.
I had to buy like $30
Really?
worth of almonds from Whole Foods one time, and I made like one smoothie worth of almond milk. I was like, wow, glad I did that.
Yeah, it's the
Is
biggest
that why
waste.
they cut it with so much water though? Isn't it like 99% water or
yeah.
something?
Yeah. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just like it's literally just like oat water. Or, I mean, almond water. Also, like, doesn't almond milk and all this stuff it like destroys more animals than actually like the cow? It's just you choose which animals you like want to suffer. Basically, you're like
Yeah, pretty much.
birds and weevils and lizards. You're like those don't matter because they're not cute. But cows, we can put them on a
Yeah.
billboard for a Chick-fil-A ad.
So he decried the practice of separating dairy cows from their calves and then taking the milk that would have gone to nourishing the newborns. Mother cows cry for their infants for days, said Cromwell, who plays anti-capitalist Uncle Ewan Roy in the critically acclaimed Succession.
He was nominated for Best Supporting Actor in Babe.
I guess these mothers must endure the loss of a child over and over again. They suffer no less than human mothers would.
Jim, what is your thoughts on that as a veterinarian? Do they
Hold on.
suffer?
And then in an uneventful climax, he peeled his hand off the counter about half an hour after the protest began.
What
was
did
it
he
then?
use? Like Elmer's
Why
glue?
So
Yeah.
that's what I want to see video of him just being like,
All right, I gotta go
"Give this
home.
hand for you."
What if he just grab? He's like, all right, gotta go home now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Cameras
Tommy,
are
what
off?
did you ask me? What did you want to ask me?
Is there credence to the idea that cows suffer more than just as much as humans do during stuff like that?
Probably not. Like you can't tell me a cow, if you separate a cow from its baby and you separate a human from their baby. No,
Much
I don't think it's the same. Now, you could argue the fact that their brains are not as developed as ours. So relative to their like emotional capacity, it's the same.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I think I don't know this for a fact, so please don't hold me to this, whoever is listening to this, but I don't think that they remember it very long either. Whereas a mother, like human mother, would remember this for the rest of their life and it would haunt them.
Yeah.
We're going down a very dark road of conversation here. but no, I don't like, so the reason I typically don't side with PETA is because they make villains out of entire people and industries, such as like dairy farmers. And I've been to many dairy farms, like in vet school, we had to go to a bunch of different dairy farms and learn about cow stuff. And like the people that were caring for the cows, like were doing their best. Like I didn't see any cow just like in squalor. They're just on a farm. You know? Now I haven't been to every farm, and certainly driving through Central Texas a few years ago, I saw some absolute apocalyptic scenarios. But yeah, I think it's bad. I think cows and pigs and chickens obviously get treated like absolute horrificness,
Right.
in a large scale. But I don't know if PETA necessarily does the best thing for them by their approach a lot of the time. They take a very aggressive approach.
Right.
It's like, you know how like 10 years ago it was really popular to like hate on religious people?
Yeah.
And be like, God isn't real. What are you, stupid? like, people would kind of take that approach to it,
Yeah.
and you don't see that anymore. That's kind of what they do with like
Yeah.
animal rights stuff. So
I haven't heard about them in a while. I haven't seen them doing anything.
It just
But
always
also,
seems... Oh,
Do-
sorry,
can you just say, like, if I were to go out and do an act like that, can I just say I'm in PETA with PETA? Like how does that work?
I don't know. I think
they
they've
support
got, like,
that?
they've got entire like PR teams and lawyers and stuff like that. It's all like there's planning that goes into it. Like
Yeah,
James Cromwell doesn't just show up and decide to do PETA
Yeah.
Yeah.
stunts.
It's
Probably
like
got
at the-
paid for it.
Right. Yeah. At the
Probably.
Timberwolves
Yeah, he
game.
probably did.
An appearance.
Yeah.
Appearance
They
fee.
probably, these people, yeah. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if he's an actor. It's a gig. Like they paid him for his time, and he's a performance artist, right? So he would be a
Yeah,
good
true.
person. So it's a combination of their skill set and the fact that he cares about this stuff and wants to do it.
He was nominated for Best Supporting Actor in Babe.
Michael, we call that influencer synergy.
He supported a pig. He really made that pig pop in the show.
Yeah.
Moving on to the next topic. Michael, what is happening with the stock market?
Oh, so many things. I can't even look at it. Apparently, we're entering a recession now.
Everything I own is down 30% now, so that's nice.
Oh, that 30% is good. I'll take 30%. A lot of my stuff is down 50, is 60%. Some of them, even some of the major ETFs I'm in are down 50%.
What do you guys think? I found the worst one, I think. The worst, like the most decimated stock over the past 1 year.
Just look at Teladoc or Affirm or
yeah.
I can name a million. Yeah, Peloton, same thing.
Oh my God. It's
Look
12.
Look up T-Doc, same thing.
Dude, look at Peloton, dude.
Dude, even stuff like
It was
gaming,
it's down almost 90%.
Yeah, but Peloton is hurting.
dude, Peloton's brutal.
They're trying to do a pure turnaround play here. What's the year to date on that? 70.
In 1 year,
Yeah.
it's 80 though.
Yeah, see,
Dude,
I mean,
Teladoc
that's
was
common.
trading at one. Yeah.
Dude, what about Penn National Gaming? I know that's dropped considerably.
Yeah.
DocuSign is not too bad.
No.
No, but I mean, there's a lot of bad
120
players out there.
or 64.
This is at 310 in September 3rd, and it's at 67 now.
Dude, look at
Yeah.
all these drops off.
This is the problem. A lot of people's retirements are just destroyed. So you have recession, you have higher inflation, even though we're raising the interest rates higher, which is
God, that's
abysmal.
at 36.
we can't keep up with inflation. We have the war between Russia and Ukraine that I don't even think we're just sending out billions and billions of dollars during an inflationary period. And we also have a lot of unknowns with that war because a lot of things have been a lot of sanctions against Russia. Our supply chain is still dysfunctional. We have a baby food shortage. They're talking
do?
about a baby formula shortage,
Damn.
which is a supply chain issue. We have
I just want to point out, speaking of babies, this is the stock that Michael gets from my daughter once a year.
no about one, and it's down 60%. So I switched to total market. Well, I wanted a
Right.
growth stock ETF because it has
she's got 30 more years for it to grow. So
yeah. Well, she has
Yeah.
that forever for it to grow.
Dude, can you imagine getting ETFs and stocks at the age of 0
No,
and all the time you have to let it grow? Isn't that
Yeah.
amazing?
Yeah.
I know. Time is
So-
your friend.
Do you think America is screwed financially? Like, do you think
No.
there's going to be like massive fallout over the next year?
I mean, it's impossible to predict the future, but I don't think so. No, I think it'll be a recession. I mean, we're definitely in a bear market now, but
Do you think you'll be okay?
yeah. But I'm just try to liquidate a lot of stuff and stay cash heavy.
Tommy, you're so shielded from this craziness because you're not even finished with your training yet.
Yeah, you have $0.
I remember I remember being an intern in 2009 when like the housing crisis and all the news was just like the world is ending.
Yeah.
That we've collapsed as society. And I had $0 to my name.
Doesn't
I left
matter at
that
all.
school. And I was like,
You're like, yeah.
I was like, I don't see any difference. I'm just going to work every day.
You're like, I'm broke
Yeah.
regardless. What does it matter?
Yeah.
I got a lady in room 5 ready to scream at me, so that's not changing.
Yeah.
That's all I got to worry about. But
Isn't that funny how it just doesn't matter? It's just like, okay,
Yeah.
well, I mean, gas is
The hell?
higher. So you have a higher
Gas is
inflation
brutal,
and you have
man.
higher commodities now. So everything's more expensive. Travel's more expensive. Fuel's more expensive. I mean, we have so much working against us right now. And
Yeah.
and we're a real estate bubble potentially about to burst in the next 6 months plus.
Do you guys remember in November when Elon and Jeff Bezos all sold like massive amounts of shares that they owned?
When
And
was
they
that?
announced in November, Elon showed like he sold a bunch of shares of Tesla that he had. We're talking
Oh,
about
that's
$20
right.
billion worth.
Yeah.
And then Jeff Bezos did the same thing with Amazon stock.
Mhm.
And I remember being in the car and listening to a podcast, and the guys were like, shout out to the All In podcast, like the greatest podcast. And they were like, people out there listening, just pay attention to the fact that the 2 richest men on earth just sold a lot of stock. Just pay attention to this. And then lo and behold, the next 6 months have been total chaos. Everything started dropping.
Oh man.
Yep. Pretty much.
Almost like they knew.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the problem is everybody thinks the stock market is a scam. And when you have things like this happen, it's hard not to
You're like, it kind of feels like a
believe it.
scam.
Yeah. It's really hard not to believe. And even good, solid companies. We're talking about the best companies in the world are getting annihilated.
God, it's brutal.
We're talking about companies with Apple, $500 billion worth of cash are getting annihilated.
Jeez. I mean,
Freaking
every single
PayPal.
thing is just dropped off a cliff.
I mean,
Yeah.
PayPal was over 300. Let's look at Shopify.
Shopify's down big.
Oh,
Yep.
It's a third-
But see, look how many stocks you can just name and look up, and they're all down 60 to 80%.
It's every single one.
Is that insane?
why?
Just you
Like,
off the top of your head. And then the problem too is like, unless you put up, even if you put up good earnings, which a lot of these companies aren't now because they're T1 or like even Coinbase. What about Coinbase? How much?
Oh,
Don't even talk
I
to me
think
about
Coinbase.
Coinbase.
Is the worst one. YTD on this monster,
Oh,
81%
God.
last year,
Sheesh.
Look at it, it's still falling.
84% since it opened last. Remember the IPO last year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were like, oh yeah, this is gonna be like the $300, or it's gonna settle around 300.
Plus crypto, the whole thing with the
I bought it at one of those dips and I was like, oh, dude, it's so good.
Algorithmic.
Yeah,
the algorithmic stable coins are just
Those are-
atrocious.
yeah. It's crypto sucks. I hate
hate
crypto.
Dude, it is so
Yeah.
stupid.
Are you
Yeah.
finally over it? Are you
Yeah,
finally
so
over it?
It's so dumb.
God, it's so
Yeah,
stupid.
Anything
I'm not
that every
completely over it.
average Joe is like, no, bro, dude, you gotta
Do you-
understand. Like,
do
you don't understand.
do you honestly think that some software created by a guy that nobody knows is going to become the dominant currency in our country and the world, and the governments are
Yeah.
just going to be okay with this?
Yeah.
That is absolutely not going to happen ever.
I
And by the way,
personally-
if somebody uses the argument of, well, you'd have to turn off the internet to do that, guess what? They will. They will turn off the internet to make that not
There are
happen.
countries that do such things.
Yeah, yeah.
well, I think
You don't think
I'm not
China's
like-
going to be able to turn off the internet in China? Like, okay,
Yeah.
I don't think, I don't know. I think crypto has its place, but I think the blockchain technology is the part of crypto that will take us to, wherever we need to go. But I don't think, I think
Maybe.
crypto might be left behind. Not all crypto,
Yeah.
but I definitely think some of these like the Luna coin is down 95% today or so, whatever it was.
Nah, dude,
These are-
Luna's huge.
they're all just like software projects.
Going to the
This is
moon.
all-
Yeah.
This is all just like BS from Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
Like,
Most of it's a scam, and it's a little harder to understand for most people.
It's gambling.
Yeah, so it ends up being like a gambling thing, and
Yeah.
it screws a lot of people out of money. But
Might as well put money on
I mean,
the-
shoot, I've lost a lot of money in crypto,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
so yeah, that's cool. Michael, tell us what you're up to over the next week.
working. I'm on semi-diagnostic call this weekend. Hopefully catch a round of golf sometime Going to
Unbelievable.
going to a comedy show Friday night in Manhattan, maybe another comedy show on Saturday, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Tommy, what are you up to this week?
Not much. I gotta prepare for my tumor board right after this, and then we'll see what I'm on call tomorrow evening as well. So after that, hopefully nothing. Let's be honest.
Have you gotten in any fights as an engaged couple rather than boyfriend girlfriend?
No, nothing
And
seems to have changed.
When you do your first fight, let me know if it feels any different.
All right, I will. I'm gonna take the
right.
ring and I'm gonna toss it out the window.
Yeah, enough.
I have said that. I'll take that ring back right now, like for
Yeah.
anything that's even remotely. But
Yeah.
yeah, not serious.
All right, guys. So please subscribe to this podcast. We need a little bit
Please.
more subscribers. Please subscribe. We're doing great with the engagement. We just need more people to hit that subscribe button. So please smash that subscribe button. Should have mentioned this at the beginning. Michael, if you want to clip this and put it at the beginning, please like and subscribe.
Oof.
Bitcoin. Great. That's great. Yeah,
Downward
Bitcoin.
trajectory.
Yes. All right, guys. Take it easy. We'll see you next week. Peace out. Follow us on social media at DVM Cellini, at DR Cellini, at nothing. Tommy's nothing. All right. See you guys later.
See ya.
Yeah.